Our story commences with Lord Saitu moving a chess knight toward e4. He remarks that every journey has its end. This one is filled with battles that will soon conclude. Saitu faces his final opponent, the Demon Lord. Saitu watches as his chess move manifests in reality. His knight materializes and charges at the Demon Lord with relentless force. Alongside Saitu are his two companions, Anji and Kane. But Sato's eyes widen when he notices a deep wound on Kane's leg. Shock strikes him how he gets hurt. He cannot fathom how an attack of a Demon Lord could injure someone as formidable as Kane. Urgently, he turns to Anji, requesting her to summon a divine blessing. At his command, Anji prays, pleading for the heavens to grant Satu the miracle of life. Sensing the grim battle, Satu orders Anji to pass the blessing to Kane. As she prays again, Kane, still locked in combat, begins to heal even as he continues his fierce assault on the Demon Lord. The sight of Kane fighting while his wounds mend fills Anji with overwhelming emotion, and her eyes brimmed with tears. But beneath those tears lies a truth only Saitu understands. It is a truth entwined with the bond between them. Amidst the chaos, Anji's heart clings to a single wish, Kane's safety. Lost in thought, Saitu ponders what will happen after this battle, and how Anji and Kane will return to their hometown. But reality crashes back as he remembers when he is still in a fight that will decide the world's fate. Snapping out of it, he shouts at Kane to strike down the demons. As the battle intensifies, two more warriors, Mulan and Ryza, join the fray. The holy knight Ryza warns against reckless actions, only for the great mage Mulan to tease him, asking what he plans to do if she refrains from them. Satu had expected their arrival. He knew them well, just as he knew the bond they shared. Turning back to the fight, Satu commands his chess queen to lend him her power. Obeying, the queen conjures a massive tornado. As Anji instinctively moves toward it, Ryza warns her to stay back if she gets caught, as dust will not even remain. Mulan, however, only smiles, praising her great sage. She confidently declares that even alone, Saitu would have defeated the Demon Lord. Mulan's words surprise Saitu. In isolation, they had trained under a master of divine power, believing strength was essential to survive the demon war. Yet instead of respect, Saitu had faced ridicule. Yet, ultimately, the queen's overwhelming power turned the tide. With one final blow, the Demon Lord was vanquished. As Saitu's companions celebrate their victory with hugs, he finds their display irritating, but realizes it is common among lovers. Kane asks if he is okay. Clutching his chest, Saitu states that he is leaving for his previous world. The appearance of a demonic door confirms it is time to go. It is one of the 3 doors capable of surpassing worlds possessed by the Demon Lord. His master had told him that the chance to return came only after the Demon Lord's defeat. To activate it, he must use the lingering magic from the souls the Demon Lord consumed. Just as Saitu opens the door, Kane stops him, insisting they owe him and should handle things from now on. Ryza hands him a wedding invitation, but Saitu irresponsibly dismisses their words. This world was never his to stay in. He thanks them all and turns to leave. But Anji calls out, confessing she has always loved him. Saitu is stunned to hear this. She adds that her feelings never changed, and she will protect this world with Kane. Mulan interrupts, teasing that Saitu is oblivious and Anji is quite bold. When pressed, Mulan admits she once had feelings for Saitu too, but chose someone who looked back at her. Tears well up in their eyes, but both smile and tell Saitu to find happiness in his world. With that, he steps through the door and returns to where he belongs. As Saitu steps through the demonic door, it shatters, shocking his companions. Amid the chaos, he struggles to return, insisting that home is no longer where he belongs. Kane, startled by his defiance, reminds him of the duty awaiting him in his previous world, yet Saitu remains unmoved. If happiness is what he seeks, he believes it lies in this world. What was once an obligation now feels like a choice shaped by the years he has spent here. His words provoke Kane and Ryza, who refuse to accept such recklessness. They argue that the one who saved the world should not speak so carelessly. They pull him back, urging him to move forward, for Anji and Mulan have already let go. His path still stretches ahead. Then suddenly, a powerful explosion erupts. His body contorts, his clothes left behind, as an unfamiliar force twists him out of place. Confusion grips him as he sees his shadow diligently immersed in study. The queen's voice reaches him, asking if he remembers her. Uncertainty clouds his mind as he questions what he has just seen. The queen suggests a bond still lingers, though his memory fails him. It matters, but not yet. Even so, he presses for answers. Suddenly, a girl appears, a one whose face he cannot place. The queen speaks again, her voice steady. His previous world still awaits, and his true journey is only beginning. And then comes the moment when Saitu has to return to his previous world. Spinning through the air, he plummets from the sky, crashing onto the ground with a heavy thud. The place where he lands is nothing more than a heap of trash. Dazed, he stares at his surroundings, and the only question echoing in his mind is why he has ended up here. He wants to go home but has no idea where he is. He heads to the main street with no other option, thinking that finding a police station and asking them might be the best course of action. A sudden chill grips him, piercing through his skin. It is only then that he realizes he is naked. Before he can process the shock, the door of a nearby house creaks open, and an older woman steps out. The moment she lays eyes on him, she lets out a sharp scream and calls for the police. Panic surges through him as he scrambles to cover himself, but the woman continues shouting curses at him, refusing to listen to anything he says. Within moments, the police arrive. One of them demands to know what all the screaming is about. The older woman wastes no time pointing at Seitu, informing them that a pervert is standing right there. The officers exchange puzzled looks. One of them eyes Seitu's bare state with clear disdain, muttering that he does not understand why this guy is naked. He remarks how perverts keep increasing as spring comes. Another officer scoffs, questioning whether Seitu is not feeling cold since it is April and asking what he is trying to prove by displaying himself like this. But Seitu has no answer. One of them steps forward and warns him that if he does not explain himself, they will have to arrest him. His breath catches. The thought of being detained at the start of his new journey horrifies him. That cannot happen. Without thinking, Seitu, hastily covering himself, suddenly scrambles up the wall and takes off running. One of the officers yells after him and demands to know why he is running around naked. Seitu barely glances back and shouts that he wants a good journey. The police officers exchange glances, asking one another if they should even bother chasing him. But after a brief moment of consideration, they decide against it. After all, they are off duty, and their drinks are far more critical. Meanwhile, Seitu keeps running, but exhaustion soon catches up with him. Realizing he cannot keep this up forever, he finally decides to go home. He will explain everything to his family, and they will believe him. He is sure of it. But then, all at once, his mind goes blank. His steps slow, his gaze fixed ahead, yet nothing looks familiar. A terrifying question echoes in his head. Where is his home? He cannot remember. Not his house, not his family. Nothing. It all turns into a blur. Fragments of memories suddenly surface. Someone had once told him that his mission in this world would be complete after defeating the Demon Lord. After that, he should have gained enough strength to return to his previous world to reclaim his true self. He must go back and find true happiness. But what it is that he truly wants. The thought lingers, but no answer comes to him. He remembers nothing. A low growl rumbles from his stomach, breaking the silence. At that moment, the door of a nearby house creaks open, and a girl steps outside. The instant Seitu sees her, he instinctively covers himself. His voice trembles as he pleads with her not to scream. He does not mean to be a pervert. He tries to assure her that he is a gentleman and still a virgin, in fact, because he has never even touched a girl. But the girl seems lost in her thoughts, barely paying attention to his frantic explanation. Instead, she suddenly asks if he is Tatsuya. Caught off guard, Seitu panics and nods. Her eyes widen with excitement as she steps closer and urges him to go home together. Before he can protest, she rushes toward him and throws her arms around him, holding him tightly. The unexpected warmth of her embrace freezes him in place. With tears in her eyes, she asks where he has been all this time. Around April, when the cherry blossoms were still in bloom, she had been searching for him. She welcomes him home. Thus, the great sage Saitu's new journey begins. As Seitu analyzes the situation, he realizes that the girl before him is the one he had glimpsed in that distorted space and time between worlds. When he met his end was Kanako, his childhood friend. Kanako's fingers begin tracing over his body as she examines him with intense curiosity. She then touches his skin and remarks that this is not the skin of a 34-year-old. Her hands continue their inspection. She even brushes against his nipples, making him feel deeply embarrassed. She wonders aloud whether she has mistaken him for someone else. She smiles and says she had thought she would finally meet Tatsuya, but concludes that he could not be a pervert. Irritation flickers across his face, but their conversation does not last long. Suddenly, a splash of water crashes onto him from above, and a child's voice demands to know what he is doing. A young girl leaps from the apartment's second floor, attacking him while fiercely warning him to stay away from her mother. Kanako's voice rings angrily as she tells the girl that she cannot do that, and that jumping from the second floor is dangerous. Maya does not stop and continues cursing him, throwing punch after punch as if determined to drive him away. Seitu had left this world when he was just 15, and it has been 19 years since then. He finds it unsurprising that Kanako has a daughter. The way she rushes to protect her mother without hesitation makes it clear to him that Kanako has found happiness. He praises Kanako, admiring the life she has built, but a bitter twinge of jealousy lingers within him. She has changed, while he remains the same. She is a man who has spent 19 years without finding love. It is the life he wants. Maya refuses to back down as if nothing Kanako says will change her mind. Kanako tells her that he is an old friend. Even after Kanako's words, Maya refuses to back down. Meanwhile, Kanako makes a surprising decision. She decides to let Saito take a bath. Both Maya and Saito are left stunned. Kanako explains that being naked and soaking wet on an April night would typically result in death, and if he dies, it will be Maya's fault. Hearing this, her fists clench as she issues a warning that she will kill him after he dries himself. Saito struggles to maintain his composure. He quietly thanks her. Kanako then asks why he is naked. Saito admits that he does not know the answer. When he came to his senses, he was already lying naked at the dump, with no memory of how he got there. Kanako leads him to her home, informing him that the bath is on the second floor and that she will bring him clothes later. Saito thanks her again. He reassures himself that he is not a pervert. A strange thought crosses his mind. Perhaps this is one of those bizarre incidents where someone ends up naked in another person's home. As he moves, he accidentally shatters the bathroom's glass door, feeling like he has crashed into thin ice. During the bath, sharp pain surges through his body, forcing him to scream. But he takes deep breaths and is determined to calm himself down. He pieces together what has happened so far. He returned to this world naked and wandered. He cannot even talk about himself because he remembers nothing. He decides to speak to Kanako and ask for her help. As he catches sight of the clothes Kanako left for him, a faint memory of Tora resurfaces. For him, who has just returned from another world, the sight of those clothes stirs something deep within him. Saito expresses his gratitude to Kanako for both the bath and the clothes, though Kanako apologizes, mentioning that the clothes might smell like an older man. But Maya grows visibly upset. Saito offers to wash the clothes before returning them. He struggles to understand if Maya has an emotional attachment to them. Kanako asks him to sit down for dinner and asks if he likes oyakodon. Saito ultimately gives in at the sight of the delicious food. Maya feels that her mother is being overly kind to this pervert. Kanako remarks that if he is a pervert, he seems sincere. He does not appear to be a bad person. She believes that Saito has endured many hardships, but reassures him that everything is fine now. Saito accidentally calls her mama without realizing it. He gathers the courage to accept that this person would take him without disillusionment. Before he can say anything further, a voice calls out to Kanako from outside. It turns out to be a customer who is completely drunk and demands clothes from Kanako. To Saito's surprise, he recognizes the man as the same policeman from the dumpster earlier. Having forgotten to close her clothing shop, Kanako leaves the table to attend to the customer. She tells Saito to take his time and enjoy his meal. Maya insists that he should leave soon and her mother would be upset if there were leftovers. She urges him to hurry and eat. Saito tells her that he needs to talk to Kanako first. Maya realizes that he knows her mother's name. Suddenly, complete silence fills the room. Magical chains shoot out from electronics, photos, and even the food shelf, leaving Saito stunned. He wonders why something like this would exist in Japan. It turns out to be Maya's doing. She declares that he has broken the barrier she placed at the front door. She explains that normal people would not even realize why they cannot move, but he can see. Saito understands that the strange sensation of thin ice he had felt earlier was the barrier. A sword materializes from beneath a high schooler's skirt. Maya declares that she will beat him until he confesses the truth. She appears almost innocent, creating an odd contrast. The two begin arguing. Maya dangerously raises the sword to his face. Saito insists that he was passing by. Maya demands to know where exactly he came from. To perceive magic, one must be capable of handling it, just as those in 2D cannot comprehend phenomena in 3D. Maya warns him to hurry up. Since he exists in the same dimension, he should be able to use his magic from the other world in Japan. The power from the other world begins to be stored within Saito. Maya shouts at him and asks if he should be scared and confesses. As he moves a chess piece with his hand, Maya warns her that one move could break the chains. Saito attempts to calm her, insists he is not her enemy, and wants her to understand if she lets him speak. But Maya shouts that he has no right to act smart in his current state. Summoning her Shikigami, she launches an attack. Saito, still bound by chains, moves his pawn en passant. The pawn shatters all the chains binding him. Even Maya's sword breaks in one swing, and her Shikigami is dispelled. Saito points out that he never told her his name. He delivers a grand introduction. He declares that he was not born in Japan and has no childhood memories. He came from another world. He is the great sage who studied the ways of magic. People call him the great sage Saito. Maya is left speechless. Glancing to the side, she notices the word lame written nearby. Saito frantically denies any connection, insisting he just happened to wear the same clothes and run his mouth. Maya says she does not understand everything but will listen to his story. Seitu thanks her. Maya then wants to confirm whether the Kashidzu clan is a lower god. She asks for his help to protect her mother, whose life is in danger. She explains that now he can use magic in Japan because his childhood friend is being targeted. Kanako is busy dealing with the customer. Hearing that Kanako's life is in danger, Seitu panics and demands to know what Maya means. Maya gestures toward her ears. Seitu fails to understand if they are being eavesdropped on or if the danger is that close. Through tears, Maya tells him that if they do not clean the room first, they will not be able to do anything. Maya shouts that they are in grave danger. Using his strange power again, he orders the bishop to restore the room. Within moments, the room is spotless. Maya is overjoyed and comments that this treasure is now spiritually more potent than before it was broken. Seitu asks if that is bad, but Maya says it is fantastic. Seitu then presses her for more details about Kanako's situation. Maya says she will explain, but first asks if her mother's eyes are sick. Seitu asks her to be more specific. Maya then explains that two organizations are targeting her mother's eyes. Japan's largest devil group and the prestigious Shimogami school are after Maya's mother's eyes. The Kashidzu clan seeks to harness their power for their benefit, while Shimogami, despite being neutral, aims to prevent them from falling into hostile hands. SA2 realizes they are talking about devils and onmyuji exorcists who exterminate yukai. The presence of a girl with fox ears and a tail before him makes it undeniable. Maya explains that while she descends from a devil family, she is not an active member. Only one person is born with power per several generations, meaning it condenses into a single individual. Her eyes are known as the evil eye that takes all. This confirms what Seitu once heard in the other world, that tens of thousands of souls are needed to open a portal between worlds, and the Demon Lord has absorbed them all. Seitu wonders if this means Kanako's power rivals that of the Demon Lord. Maya explains that although her mother possesses immense power, she does not know how to use it, but she remains incomplete. This latent power still puts her in danger. Kanako arrives and becomes sad upon seeing that neither of them has eaten. Maya always eats when there are customers. Kanako asks if she is going through a rebellious phase, prompting Maya to start eating and hurriedly urges Seitu to do the same. They whisper about sensing intruders, 2 from the back, 3 from the front, all possessing magic power. Maya informs Seitu that the Kashidzu have come directly for them. Kanako asks if something is wrong or perhaps the food tastes terrible. The lights go out, and the front door opening echoes through the house. Kanako wonders if it is a power outage. Then, a chilling thought strikes her. Her powerful magic might have accidentally triggered her mother's awakening. She urgently warns Seitu not to mention anything about her mother's power. If she realizes it, she might fully awaken. 2 unknown figures silently enter the house. Seitu struggles to decide what to do. They have concealed their noise so well that they remain undetectable. Kanako searches for her smartphone, asking where she left it. Maya recalls seeing it near the stove. As the 2 intruders approach, Seitu punches, overwhelming them with sheer force. Before he can fully react, another figure appears and aims a gun directly at his head. Seitu is caught off guard. He does not know if the gun is just a weapon or a medium for casting magic. The man fires. To everyone's shock, the bullets do not hit Seitu at all. Kanako finds her phone and turns on the flashlight. She points it toward Seitu to check if he is okay. The sudden power outage catches Seitu off guard, while Maya absent-mindedly wonders whether they paid the bill. The decoys have already been dealt with, and 3 real threats are approaching from the front. Bishop quietly taps Kanako, sending a strange sensation through her that makes her tense and uneasy. The moment is shattered as the wall bursts open, and an unseen force strikes Seitu from behind. Panic flashes across Maya and Kanako's faces as the attack unfolds. Seitu, unprepared for such a direct assault, barely has time to register the situation, knocking his meal to the table. The sight of his untouched Japanese food lying ruined fuels a profound irritation. He has not even had a bite. The creature engages with chess pieces. Seitu silently questions whether it has been halted, knowing its attack had once broken through even the Demon Lord's defenses. The battle rages on until the queen arrives, capturing the creature in her massive hand. She asks if they should dispose of it properly. Seitu instructs Bishop to return to his standard form. As the lights flicker back, it leaves nothing but the remnants of an overturned meal. Maya exhales as if drained, while Kanako laments the mess and moves to retrieve a tablecloth. Seitu brushes it off as a minor spill and thanks her for the food. Kanako remarks that despite everything, he seems like a good person, even if he is a pervert. Maya hesitates before asking whether he can stay. Her words hang in the air and surprise Seitu. She immediately backtracks and declares that it is impossible. Kanako watches her with quiet curiosity, asking why she suddenly seems so shaken. Maya explains that the man before them has no memories, having awoken naked in this city with no home to return to. She asks Kanako to let him stay. Kanako remains silent for a moment before speaking. She wonders aloud whether it is love. She continues that if it is not love, then it must be something strange. Maya has been calling him a pervert this whole time. Seitu turns to Maya and seeks an explanation. He tries to suppress his growing frustration. Kanako grasps his hands and declares that they should live together. The statement leaves Seitu in disbelief within moments. He has a place to stay and even a girlfriend. Kanako asks his name. He gives it without thought. Seitu. A nervous tension coils within him. If anyone discovers the truth, his childhood friend will see him as nothing more than bad news for getting involved with a 16-year-old girl. Kanako freezes in shock that he is Seitu too. He calmly introduces himself that he is just an ordinary Seitu. After 19 years, Seitu finds himself encountering technology that feels almost unreal. The sleek design of televisions, the efficiency of a robot vacuum, and even the unexpected presence of water in a toaster. Each detail leaves him quietly astonished. Morning arrives, and as Maya steps into view, his gaze lingers on her, drawn by the soft, fuzzy texture of her pajamas. She brings up a phone call, though he struggles to grasp what she means. Kanako remarks that skipping school for love hardly compares to her own decision to drop out of university. Maya insists on taking him out, and when he questions her plans, she mentions a visit to a hot spring. The thought stirs something distant within him. Yet uncertainty lingers. Just yesterday, they were under attack. There is no way she lacks a plan. To be cautious, he leaves a piece behind as a lookout, suspecting she might use this trip as an opportunity to reveal why Kanako is being targeted. Still, her insistence on a hot spring remains a mystery. Even so, he finds no reason to refuse. As they make their way toward the destination, Maya points out that, as her mother's childhood friend, he must have once lived here. She asks if the place stirs any memories, but he admits that nothing feels familiar. The town has changed drastically over the years. Many shops now stand abandoned and their doors closed for good. Yet one landmark remains untouched. The Tumyu building, a long-standing establishment that has become the heart of the city's business association and determined to reclaim its influence, much like the Yakuza and Kashizu, the same group from the previous night. For him, returning at this moment could not be worse. She reaches for his hand and insists that, if anything, this timing works in their favor. She suggests they take a bus to the Chiyo Hot Spring Inari Shrine afterward. It is a request that leaves him unsettled. Something about the way she says it makes him realize that this is not just a casual visit. For the leader of a Yuko family, such a decision carries far more weight than it seems. Gangsters suddenly appear and surround Seitu. They demand to know what he is doing with Maya. Maya steps forward, casually dismisses them by stating that they were in the middle of something important and ordering everyone to leave. She then accuses Seitu of being deceived by that cunning fox. Seitu wonders if this man is Maya's boyfriend. He asks who they are, and Maya explains that they belong to the business association of the shopping district. She then reveals that her mother is a widow, a fact that catches Seitu off guard. Since the two girls live alone, these men have taken it upon themselves to protect them. Maya informs them that Seitu has been staying with them since yesterday and begins showering him with praise. She leaves him puzzled by her sudden shift in tone. When she mentions that Mama said so, the men immediately accept it. After all, they cannot go against Kanako's decision. To them, Kanako's judgment is absolute, because she has an uncanny ability to distinguish good from bad. Given the rising number of troubling rumors in the city, they have been increasingly concerned about Kanako's household. They ask Seitu to look after the two girls before taking their leave. As they walk away, Maya reminds Seitu that this is not that kind of date and urges him to keep moving. Seitu starts to find those men likable as well, which is precisely why Maya wants him to lend them his strength. She wants to protect her mother and everyone else. In response, Seitu simply smiles and tells her, "Let's meet the head of the Fox family." Maya thanks him with a smile. During the bus ride, Saitu's condition quickly deteriorates and motion sickness takes a heavy toll. Watching him struggle, the driver remarks that a man approved by Kanako surely would no throw up. But after 19 years without riding a bus, especially on winding mountain roads, Seitu finds himself barely holding on. Maya pats his back and relieves that the bus is not crowded today and asks if he can do something about his car sickness. As the bus finally reaches its destination, Maya turns to Seitu, asking if he is all right. He assures her that he is fine. She then mentions that their stop is the 100-step stairs, leading up to the main shrine, where an untouched hot spring also awaits. Seitu remains silent and his gaze fixed ahead. A lone figure stands before the stairs and captures their attention. Maya suspects that he might be a Komusu, but the man introduces himself as Yukyu, the guardian of Buddhism and a devil blessed with the power of Vajra. Seitu senses that he might be one of the Kashidzu, yet he cannot detect any trace of magic power from him. Yukio declares that any outsider who harms people shall not leave this place alive. As he steps forward, the wind grows fierce and surges around them. Instinctively, Maya and Seitu take a step back, realizing that his magic power has suddenly risen immensely. Yukio, who is caught off guard by Seitu's unexpected defense, removes his helmet. Maya warns Seitu that if Yukio is who he claims to be, then he is the strongest warrior of the Kashidzu clan. Yukio acknowledges Maya for the introduction and calls her Fox Girl. Seitu senses a familiar, overwhelming force which is beyond magic and akin to the Shrine Maiden's power. It is wielded only by masters from another world. Yukio wonders if Seitu can truly control it before launching a devastating punch straight at him. Seitu blocks it, though Yukio only grins in response. The sheer resilience of this warrior stuns Seitu. An attack which is strong enough to shatter a giant ogre had no effect. He prepares to push back. Before their battle escalates, a blur of motion interrupts them. A swift, formidable presence. Azan, who is the guardian fox, steps between them. His strength alone leaves Seitu breathless. He questions Yuku's presence and orders him to leave. Yuku simply remarks that he had been investigating rumors of a goblin threatening a fox child. Though skeptical at first, he now realizes the matter was worth looking into. With that, he departs. Seitu had believed the devils of his world were unmatched, yet he failed to even sense the strength of those standing before him. He wonders why the warriors in Japan are surpassing those from his own realm. Azan, on the other hand, sees things differently. To him, Seitu is an extraordinary force. With deep reverence, Azan bows before Seitu. His form shifts into that of a majestic fox before introducing himself as the shrine's guardian. He leads them to their true destination, which is Chiyo Hot Spring Inari Shrine. It is a home to the head of the Yuko family. As they arrive, Seitu is awestruck by the shrine's grandeur. Azan, who is eager to share its history, instead guides them forward. Suddenly, the head of the Yuko family, Lady Chiyo, approaches them gracefully. Her fox form dissolves into that of an ethereal beauty. Without hesitation, she steps forward and pulls Seitu into a warm embrace. Her voice carries a simple truth. She has waited for him for a long time. Another realization strikes him that she is entirely bare. Her presence is so mesmerizing that for the first time Seitu finds himself completely embarrassed.
Here I am, know it's been a while. I was in denial about my love. Here I stand, I know I walked away.